It's rainy and cold, and we are just at our favorite spot. It's gonna snow, we think, in the forecast. So before it starts getting colder and starts snowing, we're gonna get us some coffee. What do you got?
Red velvet cake.
Pretty good. You got a hot chai latte. What have you been reading?
Reading Sadie.
Oh, how are you liking it so far? Is it scary? No, really, not really.
Not yet. But it's real good.
I was reading Two Can Keep a Secret by Karen M. McManus. She also wrote One of Us is Lying. And let's take a moment to appreciate the nice book cover I got for it. Thanks to Shannon, she got me that. But it's a really good book. It's about there's two twins, Ezra and Ellery. How cool are those names? I mean, my gosh, if I had twins, I think that would be like one of the coolest names. Ezra and Ellery. They are forced, in a sense, to live with their grandmother due to the fact that their mother can no longer take care of them for reasons which you'll find out in the book. But they end up going back to their own hometown where their mother grew up. And they find out all kinds of things going on, and they have a girl that ends up missing, as a popular girl. And Ezra and Ellery and their friend Malcolm have to find out who abducted this young girl, Brittany. So it seems to be a history of this going on in this town, because a long time ago the same thing happened to another girl, and they were all on the homecoming court. So I really enjoyed this read, and I would have to say this is a good start for the new year. One of the first books that I've read for the new year. So if you get a chance to read this book, it seems to have the same writing style and the same concept as One of Us is Lying, and keeps you guessing until the very end as to what's going on. I had no idea who the abductor was or anything that happened, but I don't want to spoil the book for you, but I want you to have a chance to read this book. It is very good. Two Can Keep a Secret by Karen McManus. The next book I read was When Dimple Met Rishi by Sanyan Mignon. It's about this headstrong girl whose parents immigrated from India, and she begs her parents to allow her to go to this web designing competition called InsomniaCon, where the winner gets a chance to have their app funded and produce their app with previous year's InsomniaCon winner. During the time in InsomniaCon, she meets this guy Rishi, and she meets him not by chance, but because her parents were trying to set her up with Rishi Patel, who is a family friend's son. So they figure, okay, we'll let her go to this. Then so she ended up going to this event, and she finds out things about herself, and it's kind of a hate to love trope. But I really enjoyed this book. And if you get a chance, I hope that you pick this book up. I am having my toffee nut mocha, and I'm just going to be reading for the rest of the day.
Okay.
Did some grocery shopping, didn't we?
Yeah, I got some shrimp.
Yeah, we're going to have a pretty good week of dinners, I guess.
Tonight for dinner, I'm making kind of like a pasta with steak.
We got some groceries here. Oh, yeah.
You had to talk it up, it's gonna smell.
Yeah. We were like, oh, we've got, woo. Sorry.
Meatballs.
And I got me some vegetarian meatballs. And oh my gosh, if you haven't tried these and you don't eat meat, oh my gosh, I love these vegetarian.
Melanie got her some.
I do eat fish. That's the only thing I do eat. But what did you say about Sadie? What was going on with Sadie? The book, Sadie?
It's getting good.
Yeah, what's happening?
I don't want to spoil it.
Oh, dadgummit. Is it scary yet, or is it going to get scary?
And then, of course, we had to get Mel her version of meatballs. They're meatless meatballs.
Wheat balls. Yeah. And I forgot to tell you about Two Can Keep a Secret. I forgot to tell you that it is full of diversity, as the main character, the main twins, are Hispanic. So there's Hispanic rep, there's LGBTQ rep as well. And of course twin rep, which I'm excited about because twins run in the family. My sister was supposed to have twins, and triplets actually run in the family because some relatives on my father's side had triplets a long time ago. But so I think twin rep is awesome. But there's LGBTQ rep and Hispanic rep and Two Can Keep a Secret. It's just really cool book. So I'm so excited about that. I really like when Dimple met Rishi. That was a really good trope, the hate to love trope. She's making some mushrooms.
Of course, Mel doesn't eat this, but this is what I'm making for me. With some sauce.
You need to show them the book covers that you got. The cute book covers. Yeah, eventually we'll show them the other book covers. I showed them my cloud book cover.
But yeah, making a good meal tonight. Well, sure. Love is love. And this is dinner. Mel, what are you making?
I am making my veggie pot pie.
Of course, she won't eat any of this.
Rocket for
Yeah.
LGBTQ. I found it at New York and Company.
Hi, welcome to the Book Chronicles. I'm Shannon.
I'm Melanie.
And welcome to an edition of Coffee Talk that I'm actually in. But anyway, it's a kind of a nasty weekend out, and so this weekend's going to be all about staying in, pretty much. So I wanted to kind of show you my what I'm reading in my weekend TBR. Do you have any books to go over?
Yeah, I'm in between books.
Well, she's in between books, but I want to discuss what I'm reading. I'm reading Somebody to Love. Sorry, don't mean to block Melanie out. This is the story of Freddie Mercury. Somebody to Love, the life and death and legacy of Freddie Mercury, Matt Richards, and Mark Langthorne. This is all about Freddie Mercury. It educates you on how the AIDS epidemic started. I mean, it doesn't go too much into the It goes a little bit, but it focuses on his life, his career, his ups and downs. I am currently, and I've been reading it off and on, but I'm currently on page 189, and I'm hoping to finish it this weekend. Really giving me feels, moments where I've teared up, but I'm really enjoying it. It's probably one of the best, I don't want to say it is, because I've got two memoirs or biographies on this, and this is one of the best that I've read so far. As you know, we did a Holly Black vlog where we went to her book signing, and I kind of wanted to reread The Cruel Prince before I got into The Wicked King. I'm also waiting because I'm sending Megan her signed copy, and I'm hoping I'll finish it. So by the time she gets it, maybe we can buddy read The Wicked King. But I've been reading The Cruel Prince, and currently pretty far into it, because I felt I needed to refresh myself on the story. I'm 162 pages into that, so I have been reading. I may have not have finished books because I start so darn many, and I didn't.
And I read Two Can Keep a Secret, and Megan finished that book, and we just have to say, Oh, my twerk. The ending of that book. It was good. It was good. I hope you guys do.
No spoilers because I haven't read it.
No spoilers, but please pick up Two Can Keep a Secret by Karen McManus.
And I wanted to take a moment to show these book sleeves. I think it's the
Let's take
proper.
a moment to appreciate the book
But I
sleeves.
got these, and they're really
cool.
good for like when you're out because it feels like the inside is kind of like water. I don't want to say waterproof, but it will help
Protect your book.
a little bit water resistant, but it'll protect your book. Say you got your book out. This is a medium size, so it can hold, quite a few. It can't hold really huge.
Covering me up.
It can't hold really huge books like Fire and Blood by George R.
No,
Martin.
but it can hold your contemporary books.
But this is what I'm reading too, and I'm 100 pages into this, and this is Sadie. Let me tell you.
And we're not talking sexy Sadie from the
Right.
Manson murders. We're talking.
Okay, so to non-spoiler, this book is in two perspectives. In Sadie's perspective and in the perspective of a podcast. One perspective is in the podcast form and one perspective is in Sadie's.
Do you feel
Sadie,
like that takes away from the book being in two
No.
perspectives? So it really,
I actually like when a book tells you that, like at the beginning of a chapter, the perspective. It makes it a lot easier because some books lead you to figure out what perspective it's in, and it can get a little confusing,
Yeah.
especially if there's a lot of perspectives. But Sadie is about a young girl whose sister has been murdered. Her body was found near this fire. So Sadie runs away and vows to get revenge. I don't want to give too much away. This is actually, I would say, one of those books where it's best to go into it not knowing a whole lot.
I've heard the audiobook is amazing, that if you want to read the book, you could read the paper book, but the audiobook, it would actually do the live podcast.
And I'll give you
So,
Sadie by Courtney Summers. And let me show you too.
yeah.
The cover has a switchblade on it because and if you read the story, I don't want to give it away, but if you read the story, you'll know why. And it fit perfectly into this book sleeve.
Did Melissa read that book yet?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe she read that book. Yeah.
So that's three and I got three more books. Well, two more that I'm reading and one that I would like to start soon. But the next one is, can we just give it up for Michelle Obama? This is Michelle Obama's new memoir, about her becoming Michelle Obama.
It's an autobiography.
And I got the large print edition. I really like it. Of course, by Michelle Obama.
I have to try it.
And I am 218 pages in, and let me tell you, this book did have me crying at the Starbucks, because at one point she had a friend named Susan that died of cancer.
Oh.
This is so good, and it's almost like a love story too, because it goes into how she met Barack and their romance and he was just so romantic.
Oh.
And you could read this for OTP because, I mean...
or nonfiction.
But I'm 219. I'm pretty far into it.
Look at you reading autobiographies and memoirs, and you're like,
Well-
I don't think I could get into those. Maybe that'll be the way I am with fantasy books, because I always say that I can't get into fantasy reads. But
This
maybe
is
one day I
really
will.
good, though. I mean, it's not boring. I think a lot of people's conception that memoirs and autobiographies are boring, but these two that I'm reading about Freddie Mercury and Michelle, I mean, I'm very invested into them. And I know this weekend, TBR, is kind of far-fetched,
snow day
but
weekend,
I'm off Monday, well, other than a post-op appointment. And I know I'm going to finish this, and I'm still reading Tricks by Ellen Hopkins. all these books I'm pretty far in. 318 pages into this book. And oh, my twerk.
That good, huh?
It is good. It is about 5 teenagers, and their lives will intertwine somehow. But this is another book. This is best go into not knowing, so I don't want to give it too much away. Not to be derogatory, but Tricks is you can pretty much guess what it's about. Prostitution, sex trafficking. These 5 kids end up in New York. It's about how they end up in the I guess they call it the life. It's really good. It's very intense.
Is it a thriller? Ellen Hawkins, like the queen of thrillers.
Well, it's more like true to life.
Oh, so it's not really
I mean, it reads and feels like a thriller, but it's very intense, yes.
So Ellen Hawkins, she writes in verse, and she's kind of the queen of true to life.
Yes, it is in verse, so it's not really hard. I mean,
that would be something I could get into.
And I have just recently hauled a bunch of most of her books. I think I'm only missing like 2.
You might need to do an Ellen Hopkins haul sometime.
Yeah, I will.
Because that's a good format to change of pace, reading in verse rather than just straight read.
And depending on if I finish at least a couple of these books, and I'm pretty far into all these books, so I don't think it would be much of a problem to finish them if I, actually did it. But, and I just want to take time to show you this lovely Starbucks cup. It's got pretty flowers and it says love. As you can guess, Melanie got it. But I have my chai latte.
I love pictures and posters and shirts that have positive affirmations.
So it's still coffee talk, but I have a chai and she has the coffee.
Well, I always said that coffee talk is your beverage of choice, whether it's a hot cocoa
Coffee kind of has a opposite effect, most people, on me. So it usually makes me really sleepy.
Well, if I get an espresso, it makes me sleepy for some reason. But if I get a regular coffee, like I made this is actually a coffee that I made myself. It's a mocha, but it is a cordial cherry mocha coffee. I made it with
it's very good, but
cordial cherry, hot cocoa, almond milk, and the Veranda Starbucks K-Cup.
And I guess if I finish a few of these, I would like to get into this book. It's very intriguing. I've really gotten into James Patterson lately. I really like his style.
He's vastly becoming your favorite author.
Him and John Grisham. I really like John Grisham too, but Crazy House. And I actually learned about this book from Melissa. She read it, and I'll read you this brief. This is the craziest story you will ever read. Becca Greenfield, 17, disappeared one morning on her way to school. Everyone from her town, including her twin sister, is desperately searching for Becca. They won't find her. Becca is being held prisoner in the crazy house. Becca is on death row, which is totally crazy because Becca is completely innocent. No one has ever gotten out of the crazy house alive, but there's always a first time. So I'm very intrigued. I like James Patterson. I like John Grisham. I've recently gotten into quite a few adult authors.
Yeah, I think I may read Dim Sum of All Fears by Vivian Chin at the Cozy Read, Mystery Read, and read the first 2 cozies because the 3rd book is coming out this year, so I want to get prepped and ready for that book.
But that is my, I guess what you would call it, weekend reads, TBR.
Snow day.
Snow, it was supposed to snow, but it's
rainy
really,
day
but it's really rainy and nasty out, and we don't want to really get out today.
And we have a long weekend, and we got groceries, and it's just like
we got a bunch of groceries.
We want to have a quiet weekend at home for a change,
and just get some reading finished. I mean, like I said, I probably read the equivalent of 2 books, but I actually have not really finished anything. I'm still reading Fire and Blood, Buddy reading it, but I think we're wait. I'm kind of having a little trouble with it. It is really info dumpy at first once you get through the family line.
No, okay.
But I think it's starting. I read a little bit of it last night before I fell asleep. Anyway, that's what I am reading. Plan to read, finish, hopefully. She's in between books, and it's always exciting to see her in between books because she's at the bookshelf and she's, really excited. Like, what am I going to read? I love that feeling. I wish I could do one book at a time. I mean, I'm going to eventually get to where I'm doing one book at a time, and I can do that. Oh, what's to read
I'm
next?
going to read Death by Dumpling by Vivian Shin, and then Dim Sum of All Fears, those two cozies.
Yeah. But anyway, I guess that's it. Thank you for...
And until next time,
please like, comment, subscribe.
Follow us on Twitter on The Book Chronicle without the S, and Instagram on The Book Chronicles.
Mm-hmm.
Peace,
and
love.
Books and well, I would say chai, and she says coffee. So,
and many blessings.
bye.
Bye.